boys came to wake me up and telling me, oh, you had engaged Beverly. So I'm like, what? How? Say, oh, no, it's all over the news that she said her friends, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, which engagement? When, how did the in front of them, I picked up the phone, called, like, what the is going on? Like, what's all this? Oh, I bought it in Teju show. I just wanted to do that. And then you started to let people know that it was me. I'm not the only person you it actually cost me my marriage too. It actually also cost me my daughter, because I haven't seen my daughter. I've only seen my daughter once. I wasn't even sleeping in the house. Sometimes I slept in my car. I was so depressed, it got to the point where I almost killed myself. Now people pulled me out. I didn't have any friends, the so-called friends. In fact, there was a time I called a friend of mine and asked him to borrow me 100 naira, make I fit buy me shy job. And he told me that he can't give me that money because, so everything crashed. I was depressed, I almost died, my brother. I lost every single damn thing I had, every single thing. When I moved to Yankee, I came to America with only $150 in my pocket at airport. $70 was what I used to buy my SIM card. The rest of it was, we'll go find way to do this thing. I had to run out of the house. This was pursuing me with stick, wanted to, physically assault me. At a point in time, he had to ask me, say, how are you doing what you are doing? The safest thing that I had to do, which is an advice I'll give people, the safest thing I had to do was move away completely from our people. When I went to live, I lived around Hispanics. I think I was the only black guy in my community. I don't want to talk about this thing because it's taking me a lot to move past it.
My guest today is one of the forerunners of Afrobeat. Is he Afrobeat or Afrobeats? I never know. They say Fela is the one that has without the S, so Fela is Afrobeat, but the one they do now is Afrobeat. My guest today is one of the guys that started to do the type of music that we do now first. As far back as 1999, I mean, he was already part of a duo called Four Men, dropping hits like Artwork or Four Men, Artwork or, and I mean, if you were sentient, if you were cognizant, I mean, that means if you were conscious anytime between the late 90s to the mid 2010s, that's 20 years, then you definitely know the name 2Shotz. I mean, doing big things with the Tribe, with the late Big Low, and big things by himself. I mean, just fantastic musician, artist. And then for the past couple of years, he's been quite silent. And as I am wont to do, we tracked Namu all the way down, or is it up? If you're going from Dallas, you're going up. We tracked them all the way up to Maryland, USA. On this one, it's 2Shotz. You're welcome to the show. This is the deep dive. The thing that I always gone for is to try to make that conversation as organic as possible. Like two guys talking. Of course, I don't always achieve it, but I try. Two
guys talking.
Yeah, two guys just saying. That's the essence of a podcast. So I was going to, for example, I was going to wear a suit before. Yeah. Because that's what I was going to wear a suit. I'm like, nah, let's just keep it. Maybe I should change tack. I just keep it casual.
Thank God you went casual, because me, I'm a casual guy. I can't remember the last time I wore a suit or African native. I've not worn that.
Do you even have a suit?
I mean, I do. I think I do. I used to have a lot of them, but I think I just have two now. But even those two, one of them is still brand new. I haven't worn it, and I'm sure I'm bigger than it now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure I'm bigger than that suit. I'm sure I'm bigger than that suit now. I've not worn that in a long time. I mean, I like being very free. If I need to go somewhere, my go-to outfit is my shorts, a t-shirt, sneakers, and I'm out. I used to be hats before. I still have a lot of hats, but now I just wear my do-rag because that kind of covers my head. I can't leave my head open. I don't know, over time these days, my hair, if I leave my hair open for too long, I get cold in it and then it just goes. So I just tie my do-rag. That stops sweat, it stops everything, and it's more convenient for me.
So for whatever it's worth, you look American. If I didn't know you, I think you were one of the boys.
Yeah.
You know, I heard in the reception, you were talking to the people.
Yeah.
That's what I've been asking you since. You know, I'm like, hey, now, wow.
People. I've had a lot of people like, I've had places where I will be at and you won't know I'm Nigerian at all. Like my switch is, I don't even know when I do it. I just switch. And then sometimes when I'm around our people and then I switch to my Akata, especially if I'm on the phone with you, you would probably look at your phone like, not the same guy with this, but I mean, I think I've always been American even before I started living here.
Oh yes, I mean, there's somebody doing rap when yo, yeah, I mean, before call.
I think I've always been American before I became one, but I'd always wanted to live here. My attitude, my lifestyle, my dress code, just so when I moved here, it wasn't difficult at all. Like I blended in really quick, and more so, I made sure that I tried to stay away from Africans or Nigerians per se.
Oh really? You tried to stay away from Nigerians?
Yeah, I just,
you know,
there's a reason for that.
This is not the first time I'm hearing that, but tell me your own reason. Why do you want to stay away from Nigerians abroad? This show is proudly supported by Finserve Pro. Look, listen. If you're an immigrant living in these United States, you already know the American tax system is not for the faint of heart. The rules are complicated, the deadlines are strict, and the penalties for getting it wrong, I mean, they can follow you for years. And that's why I don't play with this part of my life. And neither should anybody, neither should you, okay? So whether you're on a visa or on a green card, yes, you heard me. There are certain types of visas where you need to file taxes, or a green card, or you're a new citizen. You need people who understand how to help you stay compliant without confusion, without stress, and without losing money that you shouldn't, because you can lose money on taxes as well. That's why I recommend Finserve Pro. They specialize in helping Africans and other immigrant communities navigate the complicated US taxes legally, efficiently, and very, very affordable. So visit their website today at www.finserve.pro. Your number one tax solution in the diaspora as an Africa diasporan. Thank you very much, Finserve Pro. It's not only in America, here it's in London, wherever. They say some people say stay away from Nigerians. What's your reason?
I mean, I did stay in London for a little bit, so I can't say as much of that experience in London as much as here. In London, I had a best friend, and then I had a lot of my family people, so I was well guarded. But out here is a lot more different. It's bigger, there's more people, it's a bigger place. It's also a lonely place too. So, but something I learned, I heard that was something that was told to me before I started living here, but I had to have my own experience to be able to now properly say that no, I don't like to live around Nigerians for specific reasons. I mean, I don't hate my people. I love my people. I like being Nigerian. Even where I am, when I'm around my Qatar people, I like to always make it known that I am not just African, I am Nigerian. I make it very clear that then we can go back to our normal thing. But my reasons for staying away is, first of all, you know how our people are. You get carried, everybody comes here and gets carried away with real life. Everybody wants to be seen driving a Benz in America. Everybody wants to be seen appearing successful. I mean, it's achievable, you understand, if you bring your head down. But some people are actually looking successful without actually being successful. And online, you see everything, because now, you know, we're in the age where the internet is another life. Whether we like it or not, the internet is another life, you understand? So some people are really rich on the internet, you understand, but don't look happy or are not happy in real life. I did see a lot of that. I'm not a fake person, I'm a real person. I'm not gonna go and come the lie, say I be waiting and not be, or I get waiting and not get. No, I don't do that. So my bad experiences were I had friends who were, oh my God, I'm happy you're back, you're coming here, happy you're coming to live here, you can stay with me, you understand, till you find your feet, you understand, because when you come Yankee, if you're not coming with money to stand on your feet, you will need somebody to, you gonna need shoulder, So I did have some people who actually offered those quote unquote shoulders, but ended up being like animals, like really, really, really horrible people. I've had my bad experiences, with people I did call friends or maybe relatives, but at this point in time, they always turn on you. And at some point I was like, you know what? No be like, say, I know they get my own, you understand? But sometimes I just needed you to help me so that I can understand how the system works, how things work around wherever I'm living, where I'm going to properly reside. But the thing about it is, once you start to get successful, and what do they talk about success? We are talking about basics of life. You understand? Successful is, you don't get your own place. You understand? You did drive one nice car. You understand? You get a job where you did do, where they give you income. Because let's face facts, everybody in America, you need to do something aside your actual art, unless your actual art is now making you enough money to pay your bills. But if that's not happening just yet, you need something, you understand, to put on the side where we say go to give you that income. And that income needs to be able to pay for your basics, which is your rent or mortgage, your car note if you have one. I don't do car notes. I just buy my cars, outright. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I come from a mentality from Nigeria where I know one day, it's bad enough I'm having to talk to the bank for mortgage money, or having to talk to your landlord, or having to discuss rent every month, and every other bill that has to come in. I can't add card to one. You understand? I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but I'm just saying that's just me. That's, if I reduce that, that's one less problem over me. So going back to the basics, when you start to achieve these things and you start to look like you're living well, you're doing okay, you look happy, jealousy comes in. Now our people have a problem with actually, and I watched this with a lot of other communities, like the Chinese or the Mexicans, or let me not even say Mexicans, the Hispanics, you understand? Certain type of, people, when you see them come over here, yes, we are all Americans, you understand? But you get where you from come, you understand? How are you trying to uplift your people, enrich your people, so that your people are strong enough to help? When you have other people or family people coming in, there will be a platform to raise your people up, and that's how you grow your community. But our community here is, this guy is successful, everybody's gossiping about him and talking and looking for a way to either put him in trouble or bring him down. You understand? That's not an environment that I want to be around, So when I had my own fair share of bad experiences, I don't get one of my friends with them and say, come stay for my house, no worry, leave, blah, 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 blah. Bro, I leave Houston, go Dallas, blah, 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 blah. I get, bro, don't worry. This nigga has been begging me to move to Yankee. When I eventually went to his house, after a while, everything became a problem, you understand? And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to get something doing, you understand? I've put out a couple of applications. I've gotten a few. I need to go for these interviews. I don't know my way around. I don't even have a car, you understand? Even if I wanted to Uber, because even when I come Yankee, let me be honest, when I left Nigeria, everything crashed for me in Nigeria completely, you understand? When I moved to Yankee, I came to America with only $150 in my pocket at airport. $70 was what I used to buy my SIM card. The rest of it was, we'll go find way do this thing. You understand? So I didn't have enough money, but I wanted to find something doing. You understand? We could give me income, make a first stand, then I can figure out other things that I want to probably do. At some point, sharp, I don't get my driver's license. Sharp, I don't get interviews. My brother was always I could sense that resentment of this nigga just come here now. How you could just take at a point in time he actually verbally said it. How are you doing all this? You understand? Bros, I don't become Yankee before now. You understand? Forget the fact that I now permanently want to live here. I don't become this country before. You understand? I've been coming to this country with I came to this country with a P3 visa. I Googled, I tried to, you understand, and America's information, you understand, I tried to find out what I could do with the status of the type of visa that I had. It's called P3, you understand? And P3 visa means that you can actually work or get, so I got some certain things. I got my socials even before I moved back to Yankee, stuff like that. So I used those base platforms that I had already made for myself to try and see what else I could get from it. So I did try to help myself. As you be my guy, they help me. I get interview, I go to beg you, say, make you carry me, make I go my interview. I'm trying to go work so that I can be off your neck. You understand? I'm not a leech. I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to sit down in your house and be waiting for you to feed me. I sabi feed myself, so I know what to do. But as soon as I started doing this, I had a friend who eventually said, hey, Will, I'll come and take you to that interview. She came, took me there. I got the interview, got the job. By the time, I came back to the house, I begged my guy, you have 3 cars in your house. 1 is free. You couldn't give me 1. You couldn't even drop me off at work. It became a problem. Envy can't come. Before you know what's going to happen, I did that job for in a month. After a month, I got my first paycheck. I bought a car. It wasn't anything fancy, but it was something that could take me from point A to that job. All I knew that first things first, I just need something to take me from point A to point B. As I keep working, I save more money. I could get myself a better car and find a place of my own. You understand? I had given myself a timeline that all that would happen for me. I know they spend money, I know they go anywhere, you understand? But the more I kept progressing, the more the hate, the envy, the more that envy. I could see to my friend at a point in time, he had to ask me, say, how are you doing what you are doing? Bros, but I had you to help me. But you are watching me do everything, and I'm doing it because I'm trying to get out of your hair. Eventually, this guy, on top something when children do, he blame on top me. This nigga, one day this guy carried, you see the stick. I had to ask, when I was done, I had to run out of the house. This was pursuing me with stick, wanted to, physically assault me. First of all, let me get out first. You understand? And then we can figure this whole shit out. I never went back to the house. I came back. His wife came back. It was a problem, blah, blah, blah. She was like, why are you fighting your friend? Blah, 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 blah. Long story short, he gave me a notice that I had to leave his house. Shockingly to him, unknowing to him, I'd already gone to find a place of my own. I had gotten it, I had paid for it, I had a moving date. So when he told me that I needed to leave his house, I told him, I was leaving anyway. I just wanted to let you know. And he was shocked again, like, I won't disgrace this guy, but he don't walk. Bro, I still moved there. That's just one experience out of people who I now said, okay, now my person be this, let me come close to you so that we can see what we can do, help ourselves. But every time I got to that point, it's envy. Oh, everybody, you're pulling up, everybody wants to know if you're pulling up in a Benz or a flashy car, blah, blah, blah. Bro, now Yankee we did, nobody really gives a about what car you're driving or how you look. You understand? The importance of living abroad is basics. Are you paying your rent? Are you paying your bills? You understand? Are your bills taken care of and stuff like that? However you move is really nobody's business. But being around our people, that mentality comes back into play, which is how are you moving? How are you looking? Are you coming to the club? Are you spending? Blah, 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 blah. Bro, you're going to the club, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with this. You understand? Because even I'm guilty of it. I've done it one time, and that had to be because of it was my birthday. How you go take your rent? Go pop bottle for club? Makes no sense to me. Do you understand? But anyway, So that pressure of having to keep up a certain persona and an appearance just so that people can talk about you, so that you can appear like a big boy, or you're being successful when you're really not, or you're probably struggling, or you're probably okay. Now, some people don't understand the word called content. Bro, if I'm wearing a t-shirt, it doesn't have to be a Louis Vuitton t-shirt. It doesn't have to be an L. It doesn't have to be that. But does it look good on me? Yes. That's all that really matters. You understand? I'm not saying all that doesn't matter. So that pressure was so much that at the point in time, I'm like, look, I came here to focus. You understand? There's time for everything. There'll be time when I can pop out again and do whatever, you understand, and look how I'm supposed to look. But for right now hustle we do. I don't come here Counts Bridge now, you understand? So now hustle. So the safest thing that I had to do, which is an advice I'll give people, the safest thing I had to do was move away completely from our people. When I went to live, I lived around Hispanics. I think I was the only black guy in my community before a few black people started moving in. You understand? But I stayed where I stayed. I tried to maintain a very good charisma. I tried to maintain a very good image. I made sure I was clean. I made sure I wasn't into trouble. Anyway, I don't even bother people. Once I don't finish with it, I don't finish. I'm back in my house. You won't see me outside. You understand? So I lived there for a while. I lived around that community for a while. And sometimes when people ask me in Yankee, where are you from? I usually say Dallas. You understand? Because I had to move even from Houston completely, because Houston be like, it didn't make sense to me, because Houston be like saying that another Niger be that. You understand? Why am I traveling all the way from Nigeria to come and live in Nigeria? You understand? You understand? It just didn't make sense to me. You understand? And all that pressure, I had needed to be away from everything so that I can focus on the things that I wanted to do for myself. And I wanted to get into cinematography too. You need time, space, clarity, and less noise to be able to focus on things like that also. I also wanted to try dabbling into IT too, and every other thing that I wanted to do. I had things that I was trying to heal from. I had a lot of trauma, a lot of problems. So I needed to be away from everything and everyone. I even turned off my social media. My Instagram account, I changed it to another name just so that nobody finds me. I deleted everything, just left it there. Then at some point, I actually just closed down the account, opened a different page, which was about my cinematography. And that's where I was focusing on, because I wanted a different type of vibe and community to engage in. I just see life differently. It just away from what I was brought up or used to, so I needed that focus to stay away. And my brother, I won't lie to you, that was another best decisions I did, because I didn't have the pressure of, I got to wear LV to come out to, you understand? Because if I'm caught sleeping, these people would take me. I didn't have all that pressure. I don't give a shit. You understand? I can come out of my house, wear my flip-flops, walk to the mall, you understand? And easily just do whatever I wanted to do and have peace. And focus on what I was doing till when it was time for me to be ready to just pop back out a little bit.
All right. So interesting. So why did you leave? You've alluded to it. You had ghosts chasing you, so to speak. But what were the ghosts? Because I'm thinking, having been in America for a minute myself, I'm thinking that if you're established at home beyond a certain point and age, maybe it's better to stay home than start this hustle. See your guy chasing you out of the house with stick. During that flight, maybe in a microsecond during that flight, you might have thought, this is me, 2Shotz. What is happening right here? So why leave? How bad was it in Nigeria that you decided to leave with just $150? That on its own says a lot.
Yeah, it was that bad. I lost everything. Everything completely. And then being a celebrity, you always have people who you think love you. You understand? That's another thing I also learned over time, because being a celebrity, now everybody calls themselves celebrities. I laugh because it takes a lot to actually get to that point of being a celebrity. You can be popular, you understand, but being a celebrity is a completely different angle to fame. And coming from my time, I came from a time where you will be popular, but not a lot of us had money, because it wasn't it wasn't popular to be a musician or an artist or a rapper. You understand? Quote unquote, you're automatically looked at as, oh, this one will be drug head. He's smoky, bro. He's a low life. He's a useless. You understand? No, it's all fun and games. Let me use marriage as an example. It's all fun and games till when it gets to that point where that babe that you're messing with and you would really want to settle down, then you find out that she can't really take you home to her dad or her parents or her family because you be a musician. You understand? So there was a kind of stigma. It was something we also had to fight then. That's another topic. You understand? So I had people who I thought were my friends, who were my people. I thought people I would give my last drop of blood for, people I would drop my own career and make sure that theirs went up. You understand? Or at least kind of started. I think I was that guy that everybody ran to. You know, I had everybody's number. I could call, I could talk to everybody as much as I could. I had as much respect or regard, quote unquote, I thought I had, you know, but you find out that along the line, you will meet people who are either set to destroy you. They could be planted. You understand? It also could be fate. I met those kind of people along the parts of my career. But in between that time, I already wanted to leave the country anyway. It was part of my plans that eventually I'll go live outside Nigeria. You understand? Since I'm always traveling out of Nigeria, eventually it is something I'm going to do. But I didn't think I was really ready then until all the things that started to happen to me happened. Unfortunately, I met I had a lot of people who came.
Yeah, you want to give me an example of, a person who didn't help you or how that happened? Because it's like Hollywood too. They say your Hollywood friends are your fake friends. Everybody's out for themselves.
Everybody's really out for themselves.
I guess it's in any entertainment industry, really. So it will be that it's just life. When things are going well, they're your friends. When you run into trouble, they're not your friends, and like that. So I guess what I'm asking is, what specific, how did that manifest in your life and in your experience?
I had a lot of people, I had a lot of artists. I really would not want to call anybody's name because I'm not trying to throw light or shine on anybody. I don't want anybody feeding off of me anymore. I don't want to do that. But I had a lot of celebrities that we all know, that I was there for. My house used to be that house everybody needed. In fact, it became a point that, if you don't go to 2Shotz house, you don't go blow. You understand? I had people who would come and sleep just for the hell of it. I know how many celebrities that will buy new cars, drive it to my house. I will go out, bring out a bottle of Moe or something, pop it outside in my street. I used to live in Arojobe Estate, Maryland. People who came there knew. My house was that house that a lot of celebrities came to. You will find anybody there. You would find anybody there because I was open. I didn't even have a key to my front door. That's how open my house was. You understand? And I had a lot of them that I was there for. But when everything happened, let me start with the fact that the lady that I had married at the time, if I had known until till today, that was the first biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Thinking that I had gotten to the point where I thought I was mentally ready to settle down and take a woman, start a family, which is not a bad thing. I was earning, so I feel doing, but that was the biggest mistake ever in my entire life. And it wasn't about William. It was about 2Shotz, But I was too blind to see these things, you understand? It was just about what clout that I was going to give this person and how it will make that person look good in the eyes of her people or their people. I also had, let me just go back to everything. So I had this issue where something happened and it was a a lady called Beverly, who came out and said that, I had, I think it was on BB Niger. So there was this speculation, that I beat the girl. I was already in Yankee when I started hearing all these things. Like, what the fuck? So nobody wanted to hear my side of the story. Absolutely nobody. But I'm not going to come out here and tear her apart because there's really no need for that. If that was a sin, I have paid seriously for it. I have learned. I probably was 21, 20 years. What did we know? We came from a time where, bro, I don't want to talk about this thing because it's taking me a lot to move past it. But I was accused of so many things that I'm not. So my Instagram started to buzz with everybody cursing me the fuck out, tearing me apart. Every time I looked on my Instagram, I would see the same people who said that they loved me, hate me, and everybody tore me apart. 2Shotz, you are this, 2Shotz, you are this, 2Shotz, blah, 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 blah. And at the time, I did Yankee. And then the then wife who I had then, I didn't know that all that she was taking notes of how she was going to also use that and try to destroy me for her own good.
Okay, so the Beverly thing that happened before you got married.
Before I got married, a long time. I didn't even know that was a happening in the first place.
Okay, so that never happened.
I didn't even know that was even a happening in the first place. You understand? What had happened was, she had always come to my house and been around every other celebrity, you understand, quote unquote. Yeah, you know how this be. You're gonna drop this, you're a model, you want to shine, blah, 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 blah. And so you were in my video, and then after a while, you started coming to smash a couple times. Even though I know they smashed the other guys and stuff like that. I wanted to be my girlfriend. You know, I know how many times you pull up from my house in front of my people. My boys will come and tell me, this person there outside and stuff like that. But anyway, long story short, I wanted to disconnect from this person because, moving forward, I can't be really, anyway. So one day I got a call from said person's mom, right? And said person's mom, there was a little story around her that she had also told me that, my mom is something in jail, something that had to do with drugs. I don't know, none of my business. But one day I said, and I got a certain call from said person's mom, and first of all, how did she get my number? First of all, how is this woman back in the country? And how did she get my number? Anyway, talking to the lady, she said, I understand that you are around my daughter, blah, blah, blah. What? I'm not around your daughter. Who told you that? Blah, 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 blah. I'd like to see you. Okay, man. Out of respect, I drove to go see the lady. And she told me she's been looking for her daughter. She came back. I said, I don't even know where your daughter is in the first place. That's none of my business. Oh, my son, I'm going to hold you responsible if I don't see my daughter such and such time. And I give you the authority, do whatever you need to do to bring her back here to me. Man, bro, that's the way they say, don't get this kind of thing. They tell me this thing, the threats and stuff like that was like, if I don't bring this woman back, I don't know what could happen to me based on my safety. So I started to look for this person and eventually had to devise means to cajole her to come. You understand? The point of all that was to get her in physical and take her home because of what the mom had threatened me about. So I did. Took her. She came there and we were scuffling, we were arguing, scuffling. I'm like, man, I don't understand why your mom will be calling me. I haven't even seen you in months. Where the fuck have you been? Like, why is your mom calling me? You understand? Like, I don't understand. Waiting be all this nonsense now. You understand? The other time, that's why I wake up. You understand? My boys came to wake me up and telling me, you had engaged Beverly. So I'm like, what? How? Say, oh, no, it's all over the news that she said her friends, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, which engagement? When, how did the fuck? In front of them, I picked up the phone, called, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's all this? Oh, I bought it in Teju show. I just wanted to do that. And then you started to let people know that it was me. I'm not the only person you fucking. Why me? You know what I'm saying? So why me? Now, when that whole thing was going to blow, I had a friend in Nkomia, I'm not going to mention his name as well, let me understand that something was coming towards me and they were looking for how they were going to destroy 2Shotz because my record had been too clean. That how can I have such a squeaky clean record in the industry? You understand? So they needed to. And the said person told this other said person that for her to be able to blow, she needed to bring down a celebrity. So I became that target of all that nonsense. Anyway, I was trying to scruffle this girl with the struffle, you understand? I know the beat person, you understand? With the scruffle of, I'm trying to get the fuck out of my bathroom, let's get into the car, and please, I need you to your mom, or I'll call. Yeah, we scruffled, you understand? And inside that scruffle, my hand kind of shoved her on her face, and she called that, oh, that at the beat. I'm like, bro, if I beat you, you go, bro, if I beat you, you go show now, you understand? But anyway, I tried to get her to her mom and everything, and that was how that matter ended. But nobody wanted to hear my side of the story, which at some point I was like, there's no need to explaining. Once people have put you in a corner, they put you in a corner. So I started to lose everything completely.
Because of that?
Because of that.
Oh.
It actually cost me my marriage too. It actually also cost me my daughter, because I haven't seen my daughter. I've only seen my daughter one time. So that gave my then wife something to do, something to say. Anyway. So
somebody who would marry you later down the line. Okay, so I'm trying to piece the timeline together. So that happened in the past.
Yeah.
And now you're married.
Yeah.
And that story now surfaced while you were married.
While I was married.
So now gave ammunition to okay, I get what
you understand. Okay. To get me into that also. But anyway, that's also another long story, because at the time I was living in Nigeria, but I was moving around. I was in the US, she lived in Europe and all that. But everything crashed, my brother. Every single thing crashed. I was labeled by people, friends, everybody, that even people who knew me would call me and say, Will, I know this is not you. I know you're going through it. I know they've targeted you. I know this is your time to face this, but be strong. And I did. I faced it. And everything crashed, bro. I lost everything. I wasn't getting shows. I wasn't getting any deals. I wasn't getting nothing. Everything just crashed. All my businesses started to fold. Then also, I think that marriage too also added to the bad lucks that came with it too, because as soon as I get married, every other thing too also started to seemingly completely crash. So it was like maybe God was telling me that at that time, it's time to move on to other things. You said you wanted to, right? So maybe I'm just going to destroy everything for you to move on to other things that I want you to do for yourself. So the only option at that time was, you know what? Get the out. Mm-hmm. You understand? What people didn't know was I had lost my house. I wasn't even sleeping in the house. Sometimes I slept in my car. Bro, I was so depressed. It got to the point where I almost killed myself. I waka into water. Now people pulled me out. I had times when I had fainted in one of my boy Rough Coin's house. I had fainted. Like the depression, the stress, it was too much. I didn't have any friends, the so-called friends. In fact, there was a time I called a friend of mine and asked him to borrow me 100 naira. Make I fit buy me shy chop. And he told me that he can't give me that money because if his people knows that he talks to me, his deal will gone. That guy came back later to ask me for that same type of money, but with more zeros. Long story short. So everything crashed. I was depressed. I almost died, my brother. Suicide became an option. I really thought about it. You understand? Because I'm being labeled something I'm not. People are looking at me as something I'm not. I can't explain myself because I'm a quiet person. I don't talk. But only very few friends who knew who I was knew that, bro, it gets to a point where, as a celebrity, the first thing that is going to be used to destroy you or to get at you is a woman. That's the quickest. In fact, women have been fallen kings. So who am I? So everything happened. I got depressed. I lost every single damn thing I had. Every single thing. Everything. I couldn't eat, my brother. I couldn't eat. Everything was gone. So I remember one day I had smoked so much. Walked into the water in Lekki. I didn't even know that was... I thought I was even dreaming, but I didn't know that was in real life. I had walked into that water and that would have been it. Now people pull me, come out, you understand? They took me to my house. Then my neighbors called my brother. My brother came and then they had to take me to my family house where my parents were. And that's, according to my sister who's a nurse, if I wasn't brought to her at the time, I would have died. I would have been dead because my pressure was up and everything. I'm so lucky that I escaped having a stroke and all that. But after a couple weeks, when I was trying to recover, that's when my dad asked me, what do you want to do with yourself? I said, I don't know yet. You want to be here? I'm like, if I'm being here, what am I going to be doing? Next option would be to leave. And I did. Best decision I ever made in my life. I was scared. I was scared, very scared of doing it because where do they go? Who are they go stay with? What am I going to be doing? I've been an artist all my life. All I know how to do is sing and collect money for shows and endorsement. How are you going to work? How are you going to earn money? How are you going to do it for a little bit and then balance yourself and then make your own business, start making money for you to be okay? That's a process. How am I going to do all that? In fact, that was one of the questions my sister asked me, said, are you going to be able to? I'm like, yo, I be hustling. I grew up on the street, so we got to do, if we have to do it, then we have to do it. You understand? It's better off than just being in Nigeria because you go to Nigeria, the answer celebrity, not shishing out your pocket. You understand? My brother, I know Sabi do Yahoo, I know Sabi do, all I know how to do is use what the gifts that God had given me to feed myself from it. So, sold my car, used that money, bought my tickets. And that's all I had. And $150. But shit, I was like, mogul. We'll find a way. And it was painful because I said to God, God, I don't know. I'm not a bad person. But whatever is going on, if it's your will, just make sure that I'm okay. That's all. I will do my part, but just make sure I'm okay. So, bought that ticket, got on that plane, and dropped 2Shotz at Murtala Mohammed Airport. Like I took it off like a shirt. And I said, look, I'm about to go be a normal guy. I'm about to go be William Orioha. All this artist lifestyle, all this shit. You understand? All this shit. At the end of the day, it didn't bring me a lot of anything. Rather, it brought me a lot of pain and a lot of nothing and emptiness. So I just took everything. And while I was on that airport, I said a couple prayers. I said, if there's anybody that I've hurt, knowingly or unknowingly, I ask God to touch their hearts to forgive. If anybody has offended me, I forgive them. But right now, it's time to drop. It's time to drop this guy for now and go start afresh again from ground fucking zero. Ground fucking zero. Remember I told you $150 at the end of the day. By the time I got to my guy's house now, only $30 in my pocket and my wits, my guts, and whatever the future held, which I was very fucking scared of. I can't see how many times that I'll be by myself, I will cry my eyes out and say, why even come the Yankee self? why I call this America safe, because America will do its own bidding to you. Now you see when they say is the humbler of humbler.
It's the level.
It's the leveler. America go carry bulldozer like this. Say, oh, yeah, here. Okay, that's fine. Stay there. I'll be right back. Come back with a freaking bulldozer and cut your shit down to the barest minimum. You go to the end, the complete end, then start again. Now that time you will really get sense, because that's when you really know what you're here for, what you're abroad for. You understand? Because at that point in time, you have, not like it is how it is, but you have a lot of people to prove wrong. You understand? Whether you carried it as a burden or not, there's a lot of people you need to prove wrong, because a lot of people would have seen you written off and nobody even know. Everybody come begin to find me. Where 2Shotz. I just left everything alone. Hardest decision to, you understand, being able to know that, oh, you've been such a person, but you want to just put it aside and not be that person and go be somebody else totally. I became William Orioha in America for a long time. People call me Will. And that's how all I was. And for me to be able to go from ground zero and come back up, I needed to stay away from everything that I knew, that I was familiar with. Everything. Which brings us back to the issue of not being around Nigerians, because I came around the same of our Nigerians and it wasn't anything better at all. So I was like, okay, stay away, go focus. And I did that. I'm grateful to God. I'm actually grateful to God that He actually held it down for me, because I was alone for years. It felt like I was in, sometimes it's better you're in a physical prison, because then you know what you're dealing with. But when you're in a mental prison, that's the worst kind. I was in prison for years, fighting these battles, fighting these demons, fighting everything, looking back at my life, replaying it, understanding mistakes, understanding where I went wrong with certain things, taking accountability of, things with myself, and now putting them on the board and saying, okay, how can we make this better? How can you be a better person? How can you also prove these people wrong? Sometimes it's better to actually say a lot without saying anything. You understand? Eventually, sometimes, when they say the truth never really hides, no matter how much you keep it aside, it always still comes out. So all that became behind me, and I started to work on William, because I also didn't even know who William was. All I had known about myself was 2Shotz. I'd been 2Shotz from secondary school. So that's all I've known. You understand? I've never had time to actually go explore who William was. Hey, that's my name. I know I have two personas, but who's that other guy? Even I didn't know. But I do know who that person is now, because I've had time to actually separate all the noise from reality. And I'm grateful to God completely for where I am now. That, bro, when I look back, I didn't fall, I didn't die. Especially I didn't die, bro. I didn't die, bro. You know what it means to actually be so high that I was in the water. I wanted to just take my life and everything to go. Make all this shit end. You understand? Because we didn't be all this, But looking back at now.
You have found William. So who is William?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for all intents and purposes, it's 2Shotz we still know.
Yeah, I know. Even when I came back as William, people still wanted the 2Shotz. And at the point in time, everybody it just started to happen that people started to miss the music. People started to miss the music. And one of my friends that at the time said, you need to change your IG name. You need to bring that page back. You need to change your name. I did, but I didn't post nothing, which is there. And then I started getting tags, Twitter, everywhere, about maybe my song was played, maybe radio played it. They would tweet about what type of song that they played. And I got mentioned a lot. It was happening sometimes. People who now knew that I was in the States started to reach out to me. And I will have people send me videos of, I did this place, so did they play your song? I did hear, did they play your song? Oh my God, 2Shotz, we miss you. 2Shotz, we miss you. I'm like, is it not the same people? You understand? Life is funny though. You understand? I'm like, is it not the same people? I'm grateful, to be honest, because it's not even them. That's God. You understand? Because it's not even them. That's God. You understand? Giving the person a second chance to life. And because sometimes we don't have second chances with life. Sometimes we might even get it. We don't even know that's what we just got. And we throw it away. But I've been very in tune. Now, you ask me who's William. I'm in tune with my spirit. William, bro, if you're thinking bad about me now, trust me, you can't hide that shit. My spirit will feel that thing. You don't have to even say it to me. You don't have to say it to somebody else to come and say it to me. Bro, if you're harboring something about me in your heart right now, I want to promise you that I'm seeing it. I'm seeing that shit. I would know. This is the first time I'm talking to anybody in 10 years. I've had people reach out. But bro, if it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing that shit. I don't care how long I've known you. I'm not feeling right. We talked about being here for like a couple months.
Months? We've been talking about this
since last year.
Months.
You understand? That's why I said a couple months. Because I can't even remember. But see how long it took us for me to sit down here. Because you didn't even know that I wanted to watch your spirit. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to just watch your spirit. If something doesn't feel right, let's keep prolonging that shit till...
Let's just keep postponing.
Yeah, let's keep postponing that shit till it feels right. You understand? Till it feels right. Bro, if you have an animosity to me, right? Maybe me and you, they talk every day. The day where you begin to get that animosity towards me, I will feel it immediately. We might not even talk, but I will feel it. I would know. I will either feel it or I see it in my dream. It will show up somehow. I can be texting, me and you can be having conversations through a text. Bro, I will sense your tone and I will know when something has disconnected immediately. Now, disconnect doesn't mean that you will disconnect immediately. You can disconnect from me and still talk to me for maybe 2 more months before you finally decide that you don't want to speak to me again. That day, where that disconnect happened for inside your body, my body don't tell me. I won't wait for the 2 months. Let me go disconnect. If I love you enough, right? If I love you enough, I'll throw tests. Just things. For it to physically prove to me. But my spirit has already told me, which is enough. But sometimes the Pisces in me would say, okay, let me give 1 or 2 extra chances. Make I see, just be like, say. And then it comes in the physical, and I'll see it, and I'm like, yeah, I was right. And that's it. You understand? I know the beg friendship again. Before I used to.
It's a William thing.
That's a William thing.
Okay. That you didn't have as 2Shotz.
I didn't have a 2Shotz because if I had this now, the people that I had let into my life as 2Shotz, wouldn't even come anywhere close to me.
Okay, exactly. I asked this about America. America has the power to take you through a wilderness where all of a sudden your refrain, your constant refrain.
Bro,
if only I had known then,
bro,
what I know now.
if I'd known the things,
Saved myself
a whole lot of pain.
However, I couldn't have known then what I know now if I hadn't come this way.
If I hadn't left that alone. Bro, do you know that there's so many artists that are still stuck in that wilderness that don't know how to leave? You don't know how to be something else aside being that person. You have so much more potential to yourself that you might not even know you have, but you need to step out a little bit. Bro, I had so much fun not being in front, in the limelight and all that. You know the things where you feel see from backyard, from back door. You know the things that you can see. You see everything, bro. Everything and everyone. Everything and everyone. I didn't know how to compartmentalize put people in boxes. Now, it's not every friend. Every friend has their use in your life. They are friends for mo go shaye, mo go drink club. They are friends for that. They are friends who are the ones that I won't make this move. What do you think? Those ones that will tell you how to make the right moves. They are friends who are there for therapy too. You understand? There are friends who are there for therapy too. And then they're just regular friends. But not everybody is your friend. Not everybody. I didn't know these things before.
America taught you that.
Yo, bro, America taught me life. Real life. You understand? So, if I could turn back the hands of time, like we were saying, oh my God. There were so many things that, let's even start from certain people who will not even come into my life in the first place. My ex-wife would have been, make I just smash that one, make it go. If I would have not even thought about trying to choke head inside there, you understand? Or some babes, or some guys where, you understand? Mm-hmm. Or some guys. In fact, I had a friend who, there was a time his car was bad. He didn't have a car. I gave him my car for a week. When he came to time, I needed his help. He was giving me an excuse. I asked him, I said, bro, when you came to ask me, I didn't give you an excuse. So I had it. And you know I had it. So why am I giving you an excuse as my friend? But when I came back to you for something that I know you could do for me, you gave me an excuse. And that had always been my life. I was too open. I was too giving. I was too allowing. I was too accessible. Do you understand? Yeah. So I allowed spirits that shouldn't have been entangled with me. I allowed them entangle. I entangled myself with those things. I allowed them.
So have you been completely exorcised of those spirits now?
Quite a few has been, you understand? And something also brought light into. Have you seen this movie, Sinners?
What?
Sinners,
the one with Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. If you haven't watched that movie,
playing two roles.
If you haven't watched that movie as an entertainer, especially if you're a musician, but in general as an entertainer, if you haven't watched that movie, and I'm not saying this to give hype to the movie, I'm just saying what you also have to be in tune with your spirit to be able to understand the teachings that come from certain places. That movie is an apt teacher of the life of an entertainer. It's very fake. It's also very real. Once you become that, you have vampires around you. Now, when we say vampire, it don't mean say now people will go physically come suck blood. I mean, those things probably do exist too. But when we talk about vampires mean coming to you every day and collecting from you, Teju, every day, that they suck your blood, that they collect something from you. You understand? Because you're Teju baby face, I want to hang around you. Those babes where they hang around you, that's vampire. You understand? Those guys where they hang around you because you be Teju baby face, you understand? That your fame. They don't love you. It's not about you, Teju. It's about that aura around you. You understand? Honey don't there around you and everybody's around you. Then you start to think that these people love you. No, they don't. Actually, really don't. It's about what you are. Bro, every babe vanished from my side that time. Everything. Even my guys. It wasn't popular to hang around me anymore. It wasn't popular. It wasn't cool to be around 2Shotz. Within no buzz, nothing. I mean, why am I hanging around you when there's no form of benefit that I'm going to get for myself? Or, you understand? Even if it's just clout. You understand? The day I watched that movie, it was like I was watching myself. I was just watching me on that movie, and I was like, okay, this caps everything that I know, everything that I've been through, everything that I've learned, everything that I see. Maybe God wanted me to be able to pass through this path for me to be able to, because it's always been told to me that there's something great that I'm supposed to do. I don't know what it is yet, but there is something great that God is keeping me here for. He won't put me through all these things and I will still be here. I don't think I look bad.
No.
I don't think I look bad.
I mean, on that note, let's talk America. You know, as we begin to try to bring this home. Let's talk America. America the Great. Is America worth it in the end? Because I mean, all this wahala, there's just going to be a few people that are going to come and not struggle. Any which way you go, struggle to find your path for a minute. And that is keeping many people from taking that, that leap. They know they should do it now. In fact, some of them see the window closing, but it is that fear, that same fear you had. The question your sister asked you, what are you going to do? And by your Old Testament, you now came. They used stick to pursue you from house.
That's the only one. Many other ones, they. If I tell you, if I tell you, they don't come.
So all this wahala, why not just sit? So anybody watching this who is considering America, I guess I'm asking you, should they consider, should they do it, or just stay where they know and avoid all this suffering?
Here's what I'll say to that. Everywhere has its issues. Everywhere. It doesn't matter what country it is. It doesn't matter how beautiful the place looks. Everywhere has the elites and everywhere has a ghetto. Everywhere. Now, moving from where you know to where you don't know, it's a big move. It's just the same way God told Abraham, take these people. They get where I want me, you go with these people. He didn't know where he was going, but he just went. You think Abraham wasn't scared? He was scared. He's a human being. Fear must be part of you as a human before you start to exhume confidence and faith that makes you actually take steps. But are you going to tell me that that fear didn't grip you for even if it's 1 second? No, it did. That being said, understand that you'll be scared making that step. Even thinking about it is also a problem too. But people also need to understand that abroad is really not for the weak. Living abroad, it's not for the weak. Also understand that not everybody that comes abroad will succeed. Because the abroad that you are coming to is also a place. That's why I mentioned it has the elite side, it also has the ghetto. Real talk, real life, everywhere had. Because sometimes some people think that in Yankee, everywhere in Yankee is Melrose Boulevard in Hollywood. Hollywood. Everywhere looks like Hollywood. Everywhere looks like LA. The streets of LA. Even LA has the hood. But everybody thinks that everywhere in Yankee is Hollywood. Everybody thinks that everywhere in Yankee, once you're walking, you're plucking $100. In fact, people in Nigeria don't want to hear about $10, $20 bill. It's only one note that they know. $100 bill, $100. So in that being said, there's $100 bills hanging on every tree you're walking past in America. It's difficult to see $100 in a bill in America. That being said too, it's also real to understand and have it at the back of your mind that, like I said, not everybody who goes abroad will succeed. Taking me back to the initial part where I said some people will look like they're successful on your social media, but if you really, really go to their real life, are they really, really successful? I'm not saying that. I'm not even coming to say here and I'll say I don't hammer. But do I have the basics of what my life needs? Yes, I do have that now. Before I didn't. So Yankee or going abroad, because I even say Yankee, whether it's America, Europe, UK, wherever it is that you need to go outside Nigeria, even though it's better, it's also not for the weak. You need to prepare your mind for all the apt nonsense that you're going to face. There's going to be discrimination. There's going to be envy. There's going to be hate from your people or not. You understand? Everybody cushion.
Yeah, so assuming you are not weak, assuming you're a strong person, which everybody will easily say that. I mean, who are you going to ask that is going to say,
I'm weak?
I'm weak, right? This is everybody. So is it worth it is what I'm asking. Going through this and all of that, in the end, I mean, look at you now. So has it been worth it for you?
Yes, it has been worth it for me. It has been. Like, remember I said, I got to a point in time, I said, make I bondage America, go back Nigeria.
Yes.
You will get to that point. I don't care who you are. You will, even if it's for one day, you will get to that point where you be like, why even they here? They do all this nonsense. You understand? Who are you? Do you know? We Nigerians have that. You know who I be called? Mentality. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am, man? Oh, Benny, America doesn't give you. If you like, be king in your country. When you are here, all of us are the same.
So it no matter who you be.
It no matter.
Go wake up one day.
They go wake up one day. Say, waiting na this.
Swear for me.
What be all this nonsense?
What make me call here?
What be this? Bro, do you know how people in Nigeria are enjoying? Let me break a few factors down. Do you know how annoying it is that you know that you have 30 days to pay a bill? Now, in that 30 days that you have to pay that bill, you needed to have made that bill in 20 days.
That's what Lamborghini said. Lamborghini said the American calendar is not 30 days.
It's not 30 days. That's what I said.
He said exactly what you said.
Oh, see?
He said it is 20. That's what Lambo said.
Different people, same experience. That makes you understand that that's true.
So they know how time. Say when you did Nigeria, it is a time slow. So when you did and now you know say time fast.
Bro.
She said, no.
Bro, I was up this morning at 7 o'clock. I don't come off for house. I don't go walk. Me and you don't talk. I don't call off. I don't come outside. I don't drive. Before when I called you, I was trying to get home too. But before you know it, it's 2 o'clock. Boom, it's 3 o'clock. It took me an hour to get here. Boom, boom, boom. What's the time now? That's America for you. So in that time, what have you done that day? If you never make $100 minimum, something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere.
So as an aside, what do you do, by the way? I wanted to ask, because every time I call you, you don't answer the phone. I send you a message, you don't reply until 48 hours later, and then you tell me this is what almost always consistently. Bro, I'm so sorry. When I saw your call, I was at work. When I got home, I crashed. I woke up early in the morning. I had to go to work. I'm like, so what do you do exactly now?
I'm not going to say that because of billing. I'm not going to say that because of billing.
May they not bill you for...
They already bill me. I beg. I don't want... But I do an honest job. It gives me time to do other things too. But I also have my studio. I have a company called Reckless Pictures, which is I'm into cinematography fully. I started as a photographer though, but that was me trying to learn. But I knew I was going to go into film anyway, so I do cinematography and film. So yeah, so if I'm not out working, I'm in my studio editing, and when I'm in that studio, everything shuts out, because if I'm on my phone, I'm distracted.
You do deep work.
Yeah, I do very, very deep work.
Yeah, so I wanted also, because I caught you, I wanted also to finish that American question. So know that America is not for the weak. Know that America is for the strong. Everybody assumes they are strong. Everybody confesses that they are strong. So you're strong as you are. Great. If you are now these things, you know you're not weak. You say you're strong and you're ready for the reality that is going to be the transition from one place to another. I just want us to be clear on this again. For somebody watching this who is dilly-dally, should they make the move to, say, America?
Actually, let me break down the bad parts.
Yeah.
So that they have it at the back of their mind. Actually, the thing is, sometimes our people say, no, they like progress, you understand, to tell other people the truth, you understand, tell the next person the truth. Because you went through it and you suffer doesn't mean that the next person coming needs to suffer too, because that's also a mentality that I noticed that our people also have living out here. Oh, I suffer now, why you go just come here, just make everything just easy for you? Bro, your papa suffer now, make yourself no suffer. So if you went through it, that's your experience to teach somebody else so that they don't make the same mistakes, so that they can be successful. Because if that person is successful tomorrow, he's going to remember how you helped put their mind right. Now, America, when you're coming here, understand that no matter how strong you are, no matter how prepared you are, there are things that are going to happen to you. You are going to have anxiety, which the 30-day rule in America, living abroad, will bring to you. That anxiety comes with, how am I going to be able to pay my bills and feed? What work am I doing that's going to be able to provide this funding for me to have these basics that I need, right? And in 20 days, if you've not made that money, your anxiety starts to come up because you have bills to pay. Real life shit. You're going to have anxiety. Depression is the biggest one living abroad. Now, let me say from America, because people in UK, there's still a huge African and Nigerian community where, you know, as it be for Nigeria, if you just get off the hunger, they catch me, I go just come your house, Teju. I don't go even call you, I go just show up for your house. Say, Teju, you get food for her. I beg, I don't enter your fridge, I don't chop. You understand? You can't do that over here. It's not possible. You go walk, you find your money, you go chop. You can't walk into people's houses, you can't do that. So you're going to be alone. Loneliness will finish you at some point. Then depression will set in. It happens to everybody. Then at some point you need to now understand your person and how to control your depression. But is it real in America? I didn't even know these things. Bro, you get words. I didn't even know I have PTSDs from the traumas that I have been through. Sometimes I've done a good job in trying to heal from some of them. Some of them I think I have, but until I have a trigger. When I was talking to my mom about this thing, she was looking at me like, you have mental. No, it's not. It's just real life. You're going to have post-trauma. If you have traumas, it's going to live with you for a while. It's also going to be able to guide you, you understand, to your better steps ahead of time. So I said anxiety, depression, those are the two major things that will mess you up living abroad.
Yeah, but you got over those.
Have I really?
Well, I mean, I did. I mean, not so much depression, the anxiety and all of that.
I mean, you will get over the depression to a huge...
So is there light at the end of the tunnel, is what I'm saying?
It depends on your... Now, that light that you're looking for depends on you and your focus. Bring it back to when you come.
Yeah.
Focus on why you are here.
Yeah, in your case, I mean, it's always a case of, I want to look for a better life or whatever that is your case. the doors were shut in Nigeria. You needed to look for the next. You didn't know what the next was, but America beckoned you. For somebody else, it's economics. They are down on their luck. For somebody else, it's that call. In the end, if you go through all these things, is there light at the end of the tunnel? Is America worth it in the end, is what I'm asking. Of course, you've answered for yourself. For you, it's worth it. So for your...
for other people?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
When is it no? Because we know when it is yes. When is it no?
When it's no is when you don't have plans and you're coming.
But you didn't have plans.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't fall for everybody. It won't work for everybody.
Okay, so what is what you're saying? You didn't have plans, you came, and you're lucky and fortunate that it worked for you.
It worked for me.
Equally, on the flip side, it might not have worked for you as well.
It might not have worked for me, which got me to the point where I said, what am I doing here?
Okay, so if you had, but you also said if you had plans, whoever you are, whether or not you have plans anyway, you get to that point.
You get to that point, yeah.
Anyways.
So America, but at the end of the day, it's worth it and it's not. But I would say this: if I have to put both questions in a percentage, it is more worth it than it is not.
Okay.
Because and I will say this as last, if our country, Nigeria, was good, I don't think any of us would be abroad.
How now?
What will I be doing here?
I mean, our country is good. I mean, let's just say that. Let's not lie.
If our country, let's not lie. Our country is not good. Let's not lie. Let's not lie.
Let's not lie.
Let's not lie. Our country is not good.
It's good where it is good.
It's good where it's good.
But mostly,
yeah, it's not where it's supposed to be.
Close,
bro. Most of us, most of people who leave Nigeria.
Yeah.
My younger brother is a chronic Nigerian. All of us come out. Now only I say, nah, I love Nigeria. No, I don't like that abroad living, blah, 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 blah. He lives in Europe with his family.
Not right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know why he made that decision?
Why?
He almost lost his wife and his daughter in Lekki while she was trying to give birth. He had paid the hospital. The hospital, first of all, it was a lot for the fees. Then he paid them extra. He bought that hospital a full tank of diesel. Just, I don't say we don't pay a light good deal, but I bought a full tank of diesel so that there is no account when this woman is having this child. That child was still born with a candle. Through CS, and he almost lost the child and the wife. That's when his mind changed. You see, on the phone, he said, bro, that's it. I'm done.
I've never said this before. I won't say who it happened to, but this was many years ago, about 15 years ago now. I was in Nasarawa and I held up a torchlight as they operated, trying to get a bullet out of one of my loved ones in the middle of the night. I was one who held up the torchlight for the doctor. Torchlight. As they were operating to get a bullet.
Why won't a hospital?
Out of my loved one.
Why won't a hospital have the basics? Bro, we're not talking about much. We're talking about basics here. Why won't a hospital have a basic?
By the way, we have to go and wake the doctor up from the house, by the way.
Why do you have to go and wake the doctor up?
When this person started to...
Why do you know how many... Now, if you come to America, Nigerians, the medical field is 80% Nigerians. The medical field, I don't know about other places in parts of the world, we're talking about Yankee here. The medical field in America is 80% Nigerians. You know how many smart doctors, nurses, caregivers we have here. Imagine all these people back home. Just imagine, just give yourself that slight imagination, all these people that we have here back home. Why would you need to wake up a doctor? Why would a hospital not have electricity to operate on a life, a human? We're talking about a human life here. Why? Why would you go and work so hard and come back home to your house and you don't have?
So for anybody watching this, they're like, okay, so all of these things you have listed, now here you are telling them it's yes and no, no and yes. So I guess this is what we're going to take from this look. And if you don't be unrealistic, you're going to be anxious. You might be depressed. The journey is definitely not going to be easy. But don't jump into it with your eyes closed, thinking you're coming to some promised land where there is
Everything's going to happen.
the trees are lined with gold and money is dropping from the trees. You have to have a plan, and then you're going to go through it at some point. But know that that is normal birth pangs for you to get to the promised land, so to speak. You are going to pass through a wilderness. Just get ready for that. So that when you start going through it,
You will know how to handle.
you will remember
navigate.
this conversation that 2Shotz and Teju Face are having, and you will remember that they said that the days are going to come when I'm going to wake up and ask myself that what in the name
What it be
of all bright and beautiful am I doing here? But if you do persevere, it's worth it in the end, because here's 2Shotz. I mean, are you going to go back now?
No.
No, exactly.
Oh, hell no. I mean, I'll visit, but going to move, I don't see that.
Yeah.
I love Nigeria, let me not lie to you. Oh,
I mean, how can you not love Nigeria?
You know, we're actually,
if you spend time.
to be honest with you, thank God for Afrobeats, because that's the only thing that has really, Afrobeats and Nollywood.
Entertainment, essentially.
In fact, let me not even say, that's me capitalizing again. Entertainment is the only export that is.
And we're not doing bad in entrepreneurial tech now. There are tech people who
because we're smart.
Yeah.
You understand?
Essentially,
that mind where you feel you do Yahoo, you can put it in the same tech.
Individual talents are shining.
Yes, we see Nigerians are. Let me not lie here. You might not see how beautiful Nigerians, our culture, our life, our aura, and let me use the aura. You might not know how beautiful the aura of a Nigerian is when you step outside. Like I told you, I did it around my Akata people, I be Akata. But you see, something I never fail to let them know is that I'm Nigerian. I don't even say, oh, I'm African. No, I'm Nigerian. Go and Google it. And they don't even Google anymore because everybody in the world knows Nigeria.
You know us now. I mean,
we are very popular.
If you didn't know, now you know.
You know.
Now you know.
You understand? You know. Which, if I go back to the beginning of when we started this whole Afrobeat movement and trying to project, you understand, Nigerian music. You understand? Teju, you understand? You even, I remember when they come meet you now for your show. Teju, I need to be on your show. You understand? You know how you also contributed to making sure that you gave platforms to us then to be able to showcase and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Look at Afrobeats now. Look at entertainment from Nigeria now. Everything in Nigeria, and sometimes I'll see Snoop Dogg reposting something that happened in Nigeria and I'll laugh. I'm like, this nigga, all up in that shit. Everybody wants to be in Nigeria. Yesterday I saw a Hispanic babe. They drive beside me. She was playing Wizkid loud. Her windows were down. When I pulled up close to her, I said, you like that? She was like, oh yeah, I love Wizkid, I love Afrobeat. You see, that's the only thing that has given us a good face living abroad. And that's why we can still ask, come here and see. But are you going to tell? And now that's why even almost every girl in America wants a Nigerian man. Because we're hardworking, we persevere. We're resilient. You understand? Yeah, we get our nonsense too. You understand? But coming to America, there's a platform. First of all, the fact that you're Nigerian will also give you a good platform, but you're going to go through certain things. But if you're strong, you persevere.
Who would have thought it? That your Nigerian will give you a platform in America.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it? Okay, bro, you're back to doing music now. Is the album out? Are the singles out? Because you sent me a couple of songs too, and I really like them.
Yeah, I had retired from everything. You know, like I said, I left everything. But when God gives you a gift, it's a gift though. It's forever. I also need to correct something that people say. Oh, yeah, you're a rapper. You're rapping at 30. You're rapping at 40. There's no age brackets to entertainment or to music. There's none. Like I said earlier, people started to play my songs and tag me and all that stuff and everything. I hadn't been able to write in 10 years. I tried, but it's nonsense, but I just leave it alone. I just faced other things. Till one day, I came back from work. I was in the bathroom. I was on my Instagram. I watched this guy called John Network. He had a song. He put it out there. The song was funny. I don't smoke that day, so everything just did nice for me. So I just hear the song. It sounded really good, and I tried to mimic the comic that I heard in my own words. And I made myself laugh for the first time. I wrote it down. I sent it to the guy and he loved it. I recorded it, they loved it. And before you knew what was going on, the song came out. He was like, Baba, we got to shoot video. Since you did shoot video, I was like, all right, cool. Can you calm down? He came down, we shot the video, put it out, got on MTV, and boom. I saw the reaction. That video got like over 1 million views on YouTube. I saw the reception. I saw that, and which other people were telling me that 2Shotz, we miss you, we miss your music. We've heard this, a couple of people sound like you. And I always got tagged to this guy called Odumodu Black. So people were always comparing me with other people too and everything. So I guess I had done something that nobody could redo, or I had contributed something that people were missing, and people tried to fill up that gap but couldn't fill it up as much as I did. So people started to tell me that they were missing 2Shotz. They miss me, bro. Where have you been? We miss you. Come back. You know, that kind of gave me another kind of hope and light towards my life, because I thought that talent was gone. I love music a lot. Everything I've been or have become in my life has come through music. Even this Yankee, that music bring me come here. You understand? So I used to always sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else on Instagram and watch people. So when that started to happen for me again, and that particular song happened, and I saw the reception, it was like, okay, give them one more. Even if it's one more album. I'm still working on the album. I have released one song off the album, which is called Don't Worry Too Much. It's out there. The video is out there as well. My brother texted me yesterday to remind me if I had gone to the studio today, because there's a next single coming out. I have recorded a couple songs, and some of the songs, most of the things that I cannot say sometimes to people or on an interview, I have poured them down in those songs that I've written. So this album is going to have half of everything for the past 10 years, and the remaining half is me now, who I am now.
Yeah, final question, talking of things you're thinking and the things you're doing and the experiences you've had. I was reading one of your recent Instagram posts. It really made me laugh. So we're going to end on relationships. So you took this girl out, and while you were trying to feed her, she whipped out her phone. and started to record. And then you walked out. What did you do? So walk me through that potentially funny experience.
Baba, I don't know what's in the worry our babes these days, and then the age of social media blew up completely during the COVID. So now we will accept that social media is also a life. It might not be a real life, but it's also a life. You know, some certain things happen. Now, you want me to take you out, right? We're going out. So imagine if I was a guy, and then I'm out there, and then I'm always on the phone. I carry the babe, come out, I'm always on the phone, I don't have time. Of course you'll feel bad, because I'm not giving you attention. That's not why we're here. You understand? You need to respect people's time. You need to respect yourself too. You understand? You need to respect where you are and what you're doing. You understand? So I don't expect that, Baba, if you call me out and you say you want to see me, while me and you are sitting down, I'm constantly on the phone. That's disrespectful. So reach there, and you know how, it's seemingly seen that as a guy now, you go pay for everything, you know, but we are out. We just barely sitting down, and then everything that is going on is it's not about me, but it's about that ambience. There's nothing wrong with that, but it became too much that I started to look invincible. Oh, you want to take a snap of the food. You want to, Madam, are you here? I thought you were here because you wanted to get to know me. I might be old school, though, but I thought we were here because you wanted to get to know me. We're trying to, have conversations, get to know each other. That's why we're here. But we are here because you want chop. Maybe hunger don't finish you. You want chop. You want drink. You want take picture. Post am for gram. I say na you. They do the whole thing. You're not paying for that. You're not paying for none of that shit.
So you just walked out?
Bro.
Did you pay first?
No.
You left out with the deal?
Yeah.
And you walked
Since
out?
that's what you came to do. So take care of it then.
They had brought the food.
Yeah, I brought the food. I brought everything. You understand?
Had you started eating?
Here's another thing about me. I don't eat outside. So what you will see me eat is fries or chicken. Every other thing on any menu, I will not taste. I like my Nigerian food.
Okay.
You understand? But I had ordered a little pint of vodka and Rebel. That hadn't even come yet, but I was like, let them get her everything that she wants to eat and blah, 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 blah. But it was too much, bro. The phone was out as soon as the ass was on the couch. Everything, then it means you're on your phone, you call your friend, I'm here. Look at ambience, look at where. Let me take the picture. Photo session for food.
Where was she from?
I like to hide people's identity.
I just want to know if she's Nigerian or if she's American or she's Hispanic. I just want to know the nationality.
She was African.
She was African.
That's as much as I can say. She was African. That's as much as I can say. Yeah, but it was all about that. That shit pissed me off because I would not do it to the person. You understand? I would be respectful.
What did she do when you walked out?
Bro, I don't care till today.
She didn't run after you.
I don't care till today. That's it. As soon as I walked in there, I blocked that number and deleted it so that even I don't have it. And that was it.
2Shotz, how long have you been in America now? When did you leave Nigeria? That fateful day you left with 150, what year was that?
Shit, I'm bad with dates, so I can't remember. But I probably have been here 8 years now.
Okay.
And probably some change, if not, or
So we're talking circa 2016-ish, 2017.
I can't remember about the dates. If you ask me what today's date is now, I don't know.
Okay, it's all right.
Yeah, that's one of the things that happened to me moving to America. Yeah, sometimes I just, yeah.
All right, bro. Look, we can keep going on this conversation, and even you know why I'm cutting it short. You know.
I know.
Because as you've said, you have many other responsibilities and your fingers in many pies. Otherwise, we'll go on and on.
I know.
This has been coming. I hope we'll do another one again.
Oh, we definitely will.
Because I want us to go to Art Walk.
You can ask. You can ask.
That was where we started all the way from University of Lagos, 1999.
You were in T15.
Yeah, I was in T15. You and Chima were the foremen, and this is how long.
That's how long. That was 1990. Wait, hold on. 1999.
Yeah, that was 99. Yeah, it's old.
1999.
By the way, I want to ask you, is it my memory that is failing me? Am I not remembering things? Where is Big Low, please?
Big Low has passed.
Okay, that's what I'm asking, because there's a part of me that's saying Big Low has passed, but then I don't.
He has
Big Low
passed.
passed.
Yeah,
right?
he passed. I started to talk about it because people didn't know. So I started to talk about it. I made a couple posts about it on my page. I did like a tribute to one of the songs that we did. We had an album that we never got to release. I wish we did release that album, but he passed. He moved out here because he was struggling with his health. And when the COVID hit, the COVID was what got him.
Oh, COVID got Big Low.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he already had health issues with his, I think it was his lungs and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really bad for him. And when the COVID hit, that was what took him out finally.
Wow. May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah, his soul rest in peace.
Well, bro, thank you for doing this. We'll do this again.
Thank you so much.
Very soon. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you so much. And to everybody, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who stood everybody who ran away and the ones who stood. I needed the people who ran away, who left to leave for me to be, for my eyes to open. That was not you, that was God. And the people who stayed and the people who are still here, I have nothing but love for everybody. If you're out there, if I have offended you, I'm sorry. If you have offended me, your apologies accepted. I hold no animosity towards anybody. I love everybody. I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for the fans who really wanted to see me pop out again. I'm grateful to all of y'all. I have an album coming. I don't know when it's going to be out yet, but it's going to be titled William 2. The first single, Already Much, is out. It's on YouTube. Go look out for it. Second single is coming out soon. If you don't know where to check me out, you can check me out at I am 2Shotz, at IAM2SHOTZ, or you can check out my work at Reckless Pictures, which is, I think you're going to put it on the screen. Right? Yeah, so you can check me out, check out my work, what I do on Reckless Pictures. I'd like to say a big shout out to Teju. Thank you for being persistent and being patient with me. Like you said, it's been a year. Thank you so much for hanging on there. And that's why I drove 1 hour.
I flew 3 hours.
I know. But this has been a blessing. This will be a blessing. Thank you, everybody. God bless everybody. There's a better me that people haven't seen that y'all are going to see. Stay tuned.
All right, bro. We out.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you for watching the show thus far, which means you saw till the end. I'd like to thank William Obioha, because now we have Will and we have the return of 2Shotz. I'd like to thank him for being vulnerable, because you see, that's the thing. A whole lot of the times we live in such what appears to be such a vicious world today, especially online. Somebody once said that most people are fools. that always cracks me up. Said most people are fools, right? Now, I don't know if most people are fools. I just know that we seem to have an inordinate amount of just vapid people online these days. I mean, I actually know that there are a lot of intelligent people as well, but it just seems that the inordinate amount seems to be more foolishness going on. And I say this just to say that people are scared to come out and tell stories and be vulnerable, because once you put out those stories, then you have these fools jumping into the comment section and just bashing them. So they are afraid to be vulnerable. But 2Shotz actually he chose to be vulnerable on this one, and would like to say thank you to him. Now, my take on all of this before we shut it down for today, for this episode, is that a lot of us don't know that there are actually two parts or two halves to life. There is the first half, or the first mountain, and then there is the second half, or the second mountain. The first half is where most people live. In fact, most people live and die on the first mountain, either not being aware that there's a second and higher mountain, or knowing it and refusing, or being too afraid to go on the journey to the second mountain. So what's the first mountain? The first mountain is essentially what I like to call Instagram life. Instagram life. It's where you're showing off, talking about your cars and your watches and your lifestyle, your very flamboyant and perfect lifestyle. All those things that we do for ego, vanity, all those vanity metrics, your watches, your clothes, your houses, your following, the likes, the comments, all those things that the Yorubas call, the people of Ajawa, Ogbomoso, all those things they call shekarimiciousness. Do me they see me. That's the first half of life, and it's necessary, because you need to build that part of your life so that you have an idea or a foundation or a container for your life. But once you have built it, usually when you are from when you're 35, 40, 50, 55, you need to move into the second half of life, the second mountain, where it becomes about giving back. All those things that the religious books and spirituality talk about, letting go of all this things, all these vanity metrics, who is watching the video, how many likes, how many comments, make we pepper them. You let go of all those things, it becomes about service, it becomes about legacy, it becomes about giving back, it becomes about, doing for others. In short, it stops being mostly about you. It's what Jesus said when he was saying things like, those who lose their lives will gain it. Those who try to hold on to it will lose it. Things he said when he said things like, the first will be the last and the last will be the first. Things like, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these other things will be added. Essentially just saying that once you start to get into the maturity of life, it starts becoming less about you and more about a mission or a calling or a purpose. You let go of your first self, that egocentric vanity self. That is what 2Shotz did. He told you by his own testament and testimony that he dropped the toga of 2Shotz at Murtala Mohammed Airport and he went into the unknown seeking out who William was. That is as profound an admission and a testimony as you're probably ever going to hear. However, the journey to finding your second self, which is your real self, is going to be tough, which is why most people who know about it don't go on it. It's a tough one, right? However, if you refuse to go on it, you are going to live a frustrated, limited life. And that is where the phenomena or the phenomenon known as midlife crisis, that's where it comes in. Where all of a sudden you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, you have no idea what your life is supposed to be about anymore. You've lost sight of where you're coming from, you've lost sight of where you are, you've lost sight of where you're going. That's the midlife crisis. It's usually a call to let go of your former self, your first mountain self, and yield yourself to life to find your real self, to find your second mountain self. Again, it's going to be a tough journey, but look, if you can go through that matrix of birth, you will indeed find yourself. So, first of all, congratulations to 2Shotz. And this is a call to somebody out there who is struggling with that. Let me tell you, money and fame will not solve that problem. It's why they tell you and you don't believe when they tell you that money doesn't buy happiness. Nobody believes it when they don't have money. But go and ask those who have actually chased that money on their first mountain. You get there and you find that while it solves a lot of life's problems for you, existential problems, there is still that issue of the second mountain and you have to get to it. Otherwise, you're going to be a 70-year-old and 80-year-old who is filled with regrets. So don't be afraid to go on your second mountain. Eventually, you will find yourself. And as part of that second mountain where you give back, everybody needs to have a formal expression for giving their experience and their wisdom to the world, which is why I have said and I've been saying for a while that everybody needs to have a podcast. It's your own platform. It's not about the views, it's not about the likes, it's not even about making money. It's your own way of archiving and storing all your knowledge and your experience. Imagine that in 20 years time, your children and their children, and even for the generations after that, they can refer to the history and the records, the archives that you have put down in the form of a podcast. Either you're interviewing somebody or you're just a talking head talking to a camera. So start your own podcast today. And we've put together a course called Podcast Magic, where in just 7 modules, 7 simple to watch modules, you can start your podcast on a budget by yourself. Click on the link in the description below or go to the link on the screen, copy out the address on the screen right now to get Podcast Magic. Start your podcast today. In just 3 years, you will wish you had listened to this and that you're started. Before we go, I'd like to say thank you to Doctors Precious and Damola Oshideko. And thank you for watching as well. Again, I'll see you on the next one.